Welcome to the Wings Mobile Detailing Business and Automotive Podcast, the only podcast that will guide you on how to start and grow six-figure companies. As our team expand from one business location to worldwide domination, you will get step-by-step insights from a millennial franchisor and franchise owner with your host, Andre Mezalira.
All right, hey guys, the Wings Mobile Detailing Podcast here. Today we are with Arsalan.
Hey guys.
And Thiago from Best. How do you introduce yourself?
Well, I am...
You're my bro.
Yeah, bro, owner of Best Innovation and also Thibecs Production.
There's some amazing videos for weddings and everything. That's what he does. But today we're talking about Tesla. Tesla, they just came out with a very controversial truck. And a lot of people have different ideas on it. Some people hate it. I guess everybody hated it first. The thing looks stupid. But then some people started to like it, and others like competing with other car brands like Ford and the Corvette. So we have like different minds here. One that like is more towards the Ford, towards the gas, and me, I'm totally biased towards Tesla. So I'm gonna be completely biased on this podcast.
Now that's so cool because bro Andre and I we were discussing a lot about Tesla, and again I am such a design fanatic that I'm not so into the engine, but we got off with a good conversation about it, and I think I was like, bro, we gotta record a podcast here because it's gonna be like really cool about our oppositions against what we think about Tesla, because Andre is a Tesla freak, like yeah, like from anything, like buying the first dogs, stickers everywhere. He probably has a sticker on his Mercedes that says Tesla.
I made sure to keep just wings, but yeah, no, I'm a Tesla freak. It's good. Yeah. And Arsenal is gonna be.
I'll be in the middle, so I think we've got a good mix here because the perception of the Tesla truck when it first came out, it was so divisive. There were so many people loved it, so many people hated it, so many people were on the fence. I think we've got a good mix here. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm slightly against it, but I'm excited to talk about it. Let's go.
I think the way that I'm so biased towards it might count for two people, because I'm so biased. No, but I got open-minded. We're gonna share ideas about where the business is going. Also,
he's an Elon Musk lover.
Yeah, no, but it's so cool because Andre, even though he has what he thinks is his position on it, but he's really open-minded about understanding others people's view, and sometimes I push him to his limit, and he's like, but bro, and he gets a little frustrated with me. But I think at the end of the day, I think understanding where we come from, overall, like speaking for myself, I am when it comes to the design perspective of Tesla, I'm a hater in a sense, and not a hater. It's just I think they could be doing a lot better. But I respect the company, how they came about to the market and killing it with electric cars. I think beyond that, in the business perspective, they're doing a phenomenal job. I think bringing in the machine and talking about inside of the engine or the electric engine, I don't know much about it, but I think I respect them completely in that.
But specs, they're completely different. Tesla itself, the specs of Tesla, they do. See, there I go again. They're really like great compared to other cars. A new car, once Tesla came out, the electric cars, it's completely different. You know, it's Tesla was the first electric car that actually doesn't look ugly. You know, doesn't look like a toy car. It's reliable. It lasts longer. It can go fast. And when the design, something really that's really cool, because when they come out, I think it caught everyone off guard.
Yeah.
Elon Musk was still announcing it's gonna be a cyber truck, like from the
Blade Runner.
The Blade Runner.
The movie The Blade Runner, yeah. And people were expecting something weird, but I don't think people were expecting that. In terms of like when you were talking about how, in terms of technology, how far Tesla has taken the car industry in general. I mean, they've added so many new things that other companies didn't even think about. But in terms of design, I'm with Thiago. It's like it's a triangle.
It is, and I told told Andre, I was like, bro, you gotta like you maybe you gotta hire these other big guys with like you're talking about I hadn't say that, but I'm talking about like Ford, you're talking about Chevy, you're talking about BMW, Mercedes, any of the design perspective, and not the technology or the engine. Yeah. But I feel like they can do such a better job on the design appeal that could be appealing to more people. Just like, for example, one of the biggest topics I talked about the Cybertruck was I'm in a construction business in a sense, so we go to job sites, and it's the simplicity of keeping we talk about a truck. You know, there's multiple types of truck. F-150 is one of the top seller truck in the United States for many years. Why? The price is there. The accessibility, the simplicity of you able to use it as a work truck in a job site, and versus also using it as a weekend car, because it looks nice, it's appealing, it's there, it has all the it has a 4x4s, it's all a whole huge package that you can use for both. So it's a simplicity.
Air, bro.
Yeah,
it's got power plugs inside.
But again, I'm a huge Ford lover. I have a 250. Yeah. We have 350. I have had 350s, 450s. So all Ford, 50s. all the 50s. So I think, when it comes to a construction perspective, I was looking at design and analyzing the fact about the back of the truck, which is the most used for utilities that you're going to use in a truck. Truck is
practical aspect. Yeah, you need it for companies and things like that. Yeah, it just doesn't. I don't know. It's not practical the way it's designed, in my opinion. I mean, you're talking about Ford, and the Ford Raptor is one of the most loved cars. One of the most, if someone has the money and they want a truck, Raptor's everyone's number one, just because of the design, especially. And it's such a masculine car. But when it comes to the Cybertruck, it's just a futuristic but also simple looking car that doesn't really appeal to everyone. And the reason I think Tesla got into trucks is because ever since the recession of 2007, 2008, trucks have been like the number one type of car to be sold. Like it's
afterwards,
it's like one of the. I mean, American love their trucks, but the Cybertruck, and it was supposed to take over that industry, but I don't think it will. I think it's mainly because of the design. I think
the design. I also think that, as you say, how practical it is, because they made a truck. They want it to be practical. The specs on it, they are pretty awesome. But the design, I was going against it because when we were talking about before.
Exactly. Because again, when you talk about the body, I think that was a phenomenon. Like the one that you can really bang it up and get that. It's perfect for construction. Don't get me wrong. But the accessibility of the design of it is like, I'm like, how am I going to put tools on that slanted side there?
That's when you got me. That's when you got, because that's the thing. The design itself, having big windows on the front, having a sturdy body, and the wheels, they can lift. They can, specs, they're great, because wherever you are, you don't have to touch buttons to change stuff. But the design on it, when I saw the tailgate on it, you were telling me about, because you have the experience on construction sites, and I was like, I love it because you can pull the back tailgate off, open. If you need to climb it, you can pull the thing out. But it's different when you're in the job site, like you're saying, right? You wanna climb on the tailgate through the rear tire. Like sometimes you just want to jump, and there's like the huge,
like that slant side, and I'm like, how are you gonna get there? How are you gonna get a tool? Like I always am in a job site. Sometimes I have a box in there. I just grab it. I don't have to go through the back and then jump in, because you talk about there's trucks there with 6 foot, 8 foot bed that is like, for you to get all the way to the beginning of it, you kind of have to bounce back. And that's one of the things that I looked at it. I was like, all right, if I want to get something that's right touching the car, I'm gonna have to climb in the back of the truck, open that tailgate, and go get it, because I can't get to the side.
The only down that I've seen on that, though, is that only triangle gap, that only triangle elevated part in the tailgate that you cannot get to the side, because from the back, you can get it there from the back.
Yep.
And the way the cover closes it, which it comes with the truck, is automatic, where you don't have to buy it separate. It closes up and it goes down. So you have even more room from inside, but I see that little problem where you were, the only problem that I see is actually the little gap on the back, where you have to, although they are coming out with, there's a door there that we can put tools though. Yeah. So
now, I must say, because we're talking
a lot of compartments.
Let's talk about coming in the market and really making it sound for itself, right? For perspective, in a sense, like we're talking about a business, creating a product that's going to be appealing to your general now, and instead, what Tesla could be doing is potentially, go targeting different type of audiences. Because for me, like, you're going to buy a Cybertruck, it's going to be a weekend car. It's going to be somebody who has money, who's going to use it just because, hey, I own a Tesla truck. but not necessarily you talk about going against your F-150, which is your top sellers for many, many, many years. Why? The simplicity, the look, the price is there, and you talk about the different type of packages that you have of F-150. It probably has, I think, 15 to 20 different type of trims and level. You can buy F-150 for $30,000 and all the way to $75,000.
The fire gun. Do they have fire gun for F-150s? It's an option. It's actually an option. The flamethrower from Tesla. Okay, I'm actually being stupid because nobody wants that.
But
dude, on the price wise though, the truck starts at $40,000. $40,000
$40,000
with
one
motor, 50
yeah.
and $70,000 with 3 motors, which can go faster than a Ferrari with the 3 motors. But it's cheap. The price is cheap, and the build quality on it. Besides the gap, I mean, sure, they have a design that's kind of like, what the heck is this? What are you doing? I'm seeing people the market is starting to adjust and liking the truck. They're not doing the other way around. That's where they really see the market's gonna adjust to that truck. They already are.
Now let's talk about different type of markets in the United States, because we deal with it and we analyze the different markets. I'm pretty sure you guys with the franchisee, you guys analyze the type of market and type of price range you can charge for that particular, because every market
and the specs of the truck, what it offers to you.
So I feel like if they're gonna want to have a bigger impact in the U.S. market, they might be appealing to certain markets, of the markets of the people that like the modern feel. Just like we talk about Tesla, if you go to California, man, you're gonna see a Tesla everywhere. Why? Because it's a state that is more modern, and it's up for it. You go to New York City,
like
go to DC,
state, right?
It's like a tech city. So, for example, if they're trying to do it as a truck is supposed to be, why do we buy trucks? Obviously, not just because of the looks. A lot of times, you talk about the utility use for you to put things, the power, the pull, the haul. You got a lot of people with good money that's gonna haul.
That's why I'm a fan of Tesla.
But gonna haul. Talking about, you travel down the 495, you're gonna see those big trailers with the horses, with the RVs, with the boats.
But that's why I love Tesla.
Why?
Because it can haul, it can go to the mud, it has lifted suspension. It lifts the suspension automatic. It's like that you have to touch buttons on it.
Dude.
It let the motor lasts long. You don't have a motor on the front. There's all that. You don't have a motor on the front. You can use the front as a trunk. You have a lot of space to haul stuff. I mean, they compete with Ford, but still, the only thing with hauling is they prove to be stronger so far because they haul more than the other F1 compared to F-150s. But the only thing I don't think they have tested yet, which I agree with you, we still ought to see how it's going to play out, is how long it's going to last hauling things. The actual electric motor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just to quickly touch on the design part, I think you can kind of sense that it was going to be very divisive if you watch the actual video of him revealing it. It was a lot of people were like, ooh, is that it? Is that a joke?
Is that a joke? Yeah.
Is that going to be serious? But in terms of I think it's going to become successful just because a lot of people that want to maybe buy a truck but they don't buy an F-150 because it's an 8-cylinder or it wastes too much gas. It's not practical for in city. The Tesla, I think a lot of people that aren't maybe truck fans will buy the Cybertruck. So I think in terms of that, it's genius, and I think it'll take off really fast because that's where the world is going. The world's going towards electric cars, battery cars, cars that don't waste too much gas driving around city in California and big cities. But I don't think that it'll actually truly win the hearts of truck fans. I think that industry will not. He will take over a lot of people that didn't want trucks and they're gonna buy trucks now.
Agree.
But a lot of people that are already truck fans, they're not gonna turn in their F-150 to buy a Cybertruck.
But why do you think that though? Just because the design is ugly?
The design is ugly, and as he was talking about, the practicality of it. In terms, there's construction companies that have fleets of F-150s. Do you think they're gonna turn that in and buy a Cybertruck?
I think so because it's not only is it more reliable.
But is it though? We don't know that yet.
Yeah, we don't know.
We do with cars. Because they tested the actual Tesla engine and it went over 300,000 or 400,000 miles.
Right, but we're talking about F-150s that can go that easily and they go that.
No, they went
hauling
400,000 miles and lost 10% of battery capacity.
Okay, gotcha.
As far as the capacity, regular car, the actual battery of the truck, it does last long. Now, putting the truck through all the stress. Yeah. Battery's going to be just charging more time.
Things, tools,
the battery does last.
Yeah.
10% capacity after 300,000 miles. That's nothing.
And that's one of the things that you got to talk about when you talk about a truck is for use in multiple types of season, for multiple types of terrain of top. You're not going to just drive on the road.
You need
I feel like
power.
Yeah.
We have
torque.
to see how exactly that power, that the consistency on the power on that electric motor. So you talk about the truck's going to get. I mean, like a good point that you said about the truck lovers is not going to be it, because you go look, analyze every truck brand out there. You talk about Dodge, you talk about Chevy, you talk about GMC, you talk about Ford, you talk about Toyota, you talk about the major.
I think that the only issue with this truck, I'm still like hard on it, is the design. I agree with the design, but as far as specs, like reliability on the truck, how long it's gonna go far. Like, we're already proven that it's faster, it hauls, it has space because it doesn't have a motor in the front.
Let me put a curveball right now. If the same technology we put in the body of a F-250, F-150, a body of a Ram, I would buy that truck today.
That's a great point. Yeah,
I would buy it today. If it looked like the Dodge Ram, I'm actually a Dodge hater, but the new Dodge looked phenomenal. If it looked like the Silverado, if it looked like the F-150, I would buy one today. Tesla would take my money, and that's kind of my point that I wanted to hit. Yeah. The technology is awesome. I agree. Now I want it to be tested though. I want it to be tested in hauling things. And in the long term, because you talk about a truck, F-150. I mean, they go 300,000 before the engine start going out. I mean, you go far. Talk about diesel, even more. I mean,
by the time you also
miles.
reach the 300,000, 400,000 in the truck, you have a lot of. I'm not talking about simple stuff, oil changes, because obviously Tesla don't have to do that. Besides charging, but. You have problems. You have mechanical problems on the truck, but still, it can go far. The design thing, though, I agree. The design, as you were mentioning it, is it gonna get the market? Is it gonna get the market? Because that's the moment that he announced the truck, the stock market went down like 14% the next morning. However. And I sold the stocks after. As soon as I saw the truck, I was like, shit, I should have sold it yesterday because it's gonna go down. And it did go down. But it happened the same thing with me, and it happened with the stock market. Passed on 5 days, 3, 4, 5 days, people started talking on the internet and saying, dude, I'm actually liking the market. Started liking it, and it went back up. They start to adjust to it. I even started to like it. Like, dude, I think the market's gonna follow that design, just like it happened.
I disagree completely.
It's something that for some people it can grow on. Like the design can kind of grow on you if you keep seeing it, just because of the simplicity and the futuristic of it. It's just something so out there on its own. It's so different. But I mean, in terms of the success, I think it's gonna be successul as hell.
Yeah, no,
it's got 200,000 sales in the first 2 or 3 days, and people already said I don't like the design, and everyone's still ordering it.
We also have to analyze to that though. To do a pre-order, if it was 300,000, probably it was like 1/3 of that would actually buy the car, because the pre-order was only $100.
Yeah.
So he's purposely did that to get the stock market.
Everyone could put
But
Andre put a pre-order on it.
300 orders, and then I cancel everything. But however, it's still a good amount. Like, it's still a good amount. What I do get on the design, though, what the market may not adjust, the type of people, it's the minority. Those redneck Texas guys.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna.
I like my gas truck, my diesel truck.
Well, you're gonna talk about
power. At that point, it comes to just pure power. Like,
don't get the power to me.
Those trucks, okay, the F-150s are known to go some of them are known to go like 1 million miles.
Yeah.
Can the truck do that while hauling tools, while going through like snow, while going up a mountain, and still last like a million?
But by 1 million miles, you change the transmission on that truck. It's not the same.
You change a few things, but it's not.
It would I haven't seen the truck the last that long. I have not. Like,
but we're comparing a 2021 Cybertruck versus like a 2007 F-150. It's not a fair comparison. If you're talking about like a 2021 Raptor versus a Cybertruck, I think the Raptor would probably come on top.
Yeah.
But
no, that's true. I get that. And as far as like that, how long it's gonna last, they tested the motor, but they haven't tested They test the motor in rough terrain, like in a lot of stress, because they pay people to actually do that.
No, but let me drop a bomb here. Let me drop a bomb. I think if Ford were to, I mean, like they're stepping up with the Mustang right now, and I think that was came out phenomenal. You talk about one classic car that America loves turning into
generations after generations.
Turning into a. Am I talking about?
No, you're good.
Talk about generations of like everybody. It's the design is there, the price is there, and now they're gonna make it electric. I'm like, whoa. Think about this. What if they go out and try to compete with it in an electric world, in a sense of getting the F-150 or the F series to electric. Now
that would be fair.
That's going to be insane, and I think Tesla's not gonna keep up if they were now. They're falling behind because to me, by now, Ford should already step to the game, or any of the truck companies should have stepped in and already
as
made
far as
it
the electric part goes?
as far as the electric part. But I think
Tesla's dominating it with Tesla chargers, with battery capacity. They're building a gigafactory. However, but Tesla opened their patent on the electric motor. So
really?
Yeah, they opened.
Because they want to make money out of it.
No, they opened on the motor because Elon Musk's vision is to actually make all cars electric, renewable energy, everything, the way we live. That's why they have the Tesla solar panels in houses and batteries. But he opened the patent so that other companies are jumping in, like Mustang. I'm not sure if there isn't the patent, the secret of how they use Tesla, but he did open so that because his goal is to make he wants everybody to do freaking electric cars and renewable. But I think that the part of the business, because Tesla was first and Elon Musk is a freak, he invested so much on gas battery chargers, superchargers around the United States. Like, it's huge. If you see the map online, you're gonna see so many. You can go from cross country.
No, it's cool. It's like some of the, like you talk about Wawa, you talk about some of the other like gas company that are stepping in. You go there. There's different charging stations. I think that's phenomenal. I mean, you're seeing that daily now, which is cool.
You can charge your car at home, like versus your regular car. You can't just put gas in it at home. You need to go to gas. Like they're making it really convenient, and it's an industry that's only going to grow. I mean, this is the future. Like the electric world, the battery world, it's the future. So the Tesla's always going to, every year they're going to do better than the year before, just because every year it's becoming the future. And
they are always innovating. Elon Musk is a freak. If cars compete with them, he's working as hard to be there.
The only thing that I'm slightly against, and I think we've all agreed that like Tesla is a great company and it's up and coming and all that. But
no, I respect that.
He made a great point. If like Ford or Chevy and other cars, or even like the luxury cars, they get on the battery, get on the electric thing.
I agree.
In terms of design, they're always. I mean, look at some of the American cars, or like the Ford GT, or like the Ferraris and the Lambos of this world. The design is just perfect. It's art on wheels versus.
But
the Cybertruck is just a triangle on wheels.
I just feel like he could dominate. If he could change the design on it, he could dominate the market.
Right.
I'm not sure if that's his goal, but I'm just saying he could have been done it smart and played it safe on the design. Obviously, I mean, you're the first truck that is electric. I mean, come on, that's already a big step.
Maybe they could have started with a truck
just
with
make
a regular truck.
Exactly. Beautiful. Like you already made your point. Like you've made the first truck electric. That's amazing. I mean, props to him.
Stick with the design people are used to.
Dude, if you came with an appealing,
change.
If you made the appealing and made another truck, hey, here's the new truck, but with a different design. All right, I'm gonna change it. But if he was gonna dominate it, man. I'm telling you, if he were to make a truck to look,
but you're assuming he's not going to dominate with this. Like,
I feel like the design will take him behind, because if some of these other companies do step into his same path, he's going to lose that instead of being a pioneer.
He's inviting competition on by pushing it back, by pushing the design. Well,
I agree. I agree. At the same time, I've seen Elon Musk always do that since he started Tesla. He's like, take huge risk. Any other car manufacturer, they will not take the risk to make a completely different, innovative, or whatever you want to call it, different truck. They would not take the risk. And Elon Musk is the only one.
But okay, let's talk about good design, because some of the companies that we talked about as an SUV and stuff, and started to like kind of like just throw it. But look at the Dodge Ram. I'm gonna say, like, I was a Dodge hater. Bro has a Dodge himself. He's an older one, but like I make fun of it because I didn't like. Yeah, it has a lot of miles on it. But dude, if you've seen The new Dodge, it's like the curve appeal to it. It's amazing. I'm like, I just became a Dodge fan.
Yeah.
Why? Just because of the design. I'm like, I saw the driving down the road and I'm like, damn. Like,
but
I
that's
love
the thing.
that.
Is it different? It looks the same.
No, it is
after
different.
the Tesla. No,
It
that's
is
what I
different
mean.
because you never had a truck have that much of a curve appeal to the sides and everything.
Design matters when it comes to cars, man. There's
Is it
a lot.
2020?
Yeah, I mean, take a
must
look
say
at
you're
it.
looking at
Dude,
it.
no, it looks phenomenal, bro. I was going to even tell you, bro, get the new one. It looks fresh.
Oh, the Dodge, what is it called?
Ram. Dodge Ram. No, and again, I'm telling you, I was a
Dude,
huge...
it looks the same. It's like any other truck.
Look at the curve appeal, bro.
He's
No,
in
it's
the
nice.
minority where you don't appreciate
I'm
the
not
design.
the minority, freaking, because the market already bought.
Take a look at this, guys. Like, look at the curve appeal to it. Like,
Okay, no, but comparing to a Tesla, it's completely different. That's what I'm
look
trying
at
to say.
that, man. Like, it just, come in. Like, okay, talk about somebody that
No,
used
it's
to
nice.
hate on
I
Dodge.
like it.
Like,
I like
they came out with a design that killed it. Again, the one that I
like
really
it.
mentioned to you, the Hyundai. The
Yeah.
SUV. Have you seen the new Hyundai SUV? Well, actually, Kia. I'm sorry. The Kia one.
So,
The one. Can you
Telluride?
Hey, look at
Yeah.
the new Kia
But dude,
SUV.
like,
But you're talking about...
I do like the design on that truck, but what after he showed up the truck and everybody hated it first, I did too, so this sucks. And then people were starting to be like, on the internet, that's why the stock market went back up, because they're like, dude, now any other truck I see, it looks the same. You know, it looks like any other truck I see after the Tesla. After 3 days, it looks the same.
I'm like, all right, let's talk about the Kia right now because I got so excited about it.
It just looks luxurious.
Look at that.
Oh,
And
but
you
that's
talk about
that's an
Kia.
SUV though.
I know, but we're talking about design now completely. Talk about Kia. Like us young ones right here. We're all in our mid-20s right here. Like who would go, oh, I love a Kia. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever said I like a Kia?
Yeah.
I would ever consider buying a Kia. But have you seen their new, like the what is it, the Stinger? The Stinger is phenomenal.
Oh, the Stinger's nice, yeah.
Yeah, and because what? They've stepped up their design game and they've made themselves a big key players in the market right now.
I think
Why?
the market will tell as far as the design goes if that's gonna play a difference.
I think
As
the
far as
market's
the new
already kind of
truck.
like...
It
There's so
is.
many people have come out and talked against it. They were like, I'm never going to buy this. It's just triangle on wheels. Or like,
I
it's
see
just
that on the first
just
day
metal.
though. On the
No,
first
I
day.
still see people. There's so many jokes
No,
about the
there
Tesla
are
truck
jokes,
going out.
but I think still time's gonna tell actually if the market for cars is gonna follow. If Tesla has to follow the market, or if he's actually gonna do that, what his intention are to make the market.
In terms of technology, I think everyone will follow Tesla eventually. But in terms of design, I think Tesla will have to adapt to other people. Like,
Yeah, that's
so
a great point.
We just pulled up the Lotus. The Lotus is a car that's getting more and more popular. It's got no technology in there. It's got nothing. It's just a design. It's like a cheap design car. But it's gaining so much popularity just because it looks like a super luxurious car. The design is amazing for a car that's under like $50,000. It looks like a Ferrari for a car that's cheap. But it's getting so much traction just because of the design. It's got no practicality to it. But then the truck has so much practicality to it, but then people don't want to order it just because of the design. So design goes a long, long way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because you talk about like going back to the Kia thing, like I would consider buying a Kia. But
Yeah.
after I saw the Stinger, I was like, oh, cool. Like this car, I would actually buy a car.
Yeah.
And then when they came out with that SUV, now I'm like, I'm married. I'm 27 years old. Like I'm looking for that family car. Not ready yet, but I'm just saying I like big cars now. I drive a
have kids,
Suburban.
bro?
I drive a Chevy Suburban. You can't get no bigger than SUV than that. So you talk about the new SUV. What's the name of it called again?
Telluride.
Telluride. I mean, man,
think
like
so.
that design for me is just like killed it. I would jump into a Kia, but you talk about like who buys a Kia? I mean, not to bash them, I just feel like all their cars throughout many years they were not appealing. They were just not appealing. They were
It was
cheap.
just a simple, cheap car. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah,
but now
Kia was always
always cheap and ugly. But now look at what they stepped up. What did they step up? You talk about Hyundai. You talk about
So
these.
your point is, so they stepped up after they made the design different.
Exactly.
And that's when they dominated. Okay,
They
people started
dominated
liking
the
it.
market
Is
by
it proven
changing.
on the market though? It's not
Yes.
like, okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's what I see on the Tesla as well. The Tesla, they prove it on the market the first day that everybody hates it. With the orders, people like, what the heck, and then the orders came back up. Okay, right now we're in the point where there's more people wanting Tesla that can actually manufacture. But are those people actually buying it later, just like they bought the Teslas? No, Tesla, the same thing happened to Model S, Model X. They're like, the design, everything, the car's electric, is it gonna last? And the people start buying it, he couldn't deliver them in time.
Yeah.
But still, it's not still a good amount of time to prove it. I think we're going under assumptions. I assume the Tesla, with the superchargers they're building, they're gonna dominate not only, the electric
Now let's
market.
let's throw something out there, because I actually did not know. I just found out here in our conversation. If this order was just $100. To pre-order was just $100.
Exactly, that's
That
what
was
I'm
that was a
saying.
business tactic completely.
Completely,
Because
no,
anybody
yeah.
down the street would like, oh, I liked it. I just pre-order. I mean, anybody has $100.
Except
to
those
put
who
on
actually
it.
hate the design.
Yes.
They wouldn't put the $100.
No, but I'm
down.
just saying, people would say, so if he would tell me the down payment, the pre-order was $10,000,
Yeah.
I would bet you that the number of pre-orders was
Exactly,
going to
but
go completely down.
I
So
agree,
it was
I
a
agree.
completely business perspective for stocking purpose to have the
Could've
$100.
been.
That's
Could've
so realistically looking at the numbers, analyzing that, I don't
Yeah.
think it's going to be. I think it's certainly a bias, because who out of those, who do you really think is going to go out and do it? $100.
Yeah.
Anybody that
Exactly.
you get excited about something, $100. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, if I get too excited about it, I'm not going to think twice. But you talk about $10,000. I mean, you're gonna think about it, like I'm really putting $10,000 in a truck. So,
I agree. So
you know what I mean?
we spoke about the design. Time will tell. I think that
Yeah.
10 years from now, we already covered the design, and your opinion is that the market might not follow that type of design and get
No.
Teslas.
At least not yet.
I think
No.
the market's gonna turn around. It's gonna take some time. I think it's gonna take some time, and the market's gonna turn around and start like seeing a Tesla. I'm gonna push it really far now,
now,
as an Apple.
of
The car,
I
of the
disagree,
electric,
bro.
of the electric cars, because if gas cars comes out of the market, later on.
No, but I'm gonna throw something out there. There's a lot of in terms of design perspective. Obviously, the technology is gonna save them. Period. I mean, that we all agree that the technology is gonna save them. Is that what it's gonna save them? But you talk about some of there's so many brands like the Pontiac, like the Oldsmobile.
Yeah.
You're going back to classic cars here, but you talk about Chevy, Ford. They've came out with breaking the ice of a different design perspective, and a lot of these cars they don't make it anymore. It flunked. It was a mess up. It was a loss for the company. Why? Because they went against that typical design.
Yeah.
But you talk about, look back into the 60s and 50s. You look at those designs. And you talk about all the cars. You look at the 60s and 50s.
It's different.
They all look the same though. I'm just saying, like, if you're talking compare all the brands, they look similar. And you go to the 70s.
If you go from the 70s.
And you go to the 70s, they're all going to look alike. You know, the 80s, they're all going to look alike. Obviously, Tesla has the potential to change how cars look, but I think how cars has been look. I mean, look at 2010, 2015. And now look at the 2015, 2020 cars. They're completely different. We're already in a new era of style of cars.
No company has made what Tesla has made.
Only
which
technology.
Change from one day to the other.
Only
design
technology.
like that.
But you got a lot of people that buy
Tesla's the only one
cars.
who did change the design from one day to the other. It's a gaming truck or a truck that you drew in your eighth grade class.
Coming up with a different design is not that hard. You just look at what's out there and do something completely different, or pull it out of a movie like they did. It's not.
Now let's talk about the
specs.
specs. The design, I think we're still gonna be disagreeing, and there's a lot of people who is like in one side to the other.
Yeah.
Now the specs on it, Tesla as a business itself, where are they going? Like, what do they change? I compare Tesla a lot with Apple, completely different product, nothing to do with it, but the way that his has grown.
No, I think they're a technology company. I don't think they're a car. I see them as a technology company, not a car company.
But if the car is more reliable,
I don't see them as the next Apple. No, Apple is dominating the market. I don't think Tesla will, just because
Apple was dominating.
Yeah, but
Stop recording.
Yeah, it's okay.
When did Apple come to market? Like early 2000s.
All right, let's talk about Apple in a
20
sense
years.
of what they created. What did they create? They created computers, telephones, and you talk about, okay, let's go back 20 years ago.
That was the
2000.
touch screen. Apple was touch screen.
Yeah, Apple first thing, touchscreen phones.
Yeah.
Now the Mac was a phenomenal event. You talk about a computer that they changed the market, but you talk about these were products that did not exist before. They made something from scratch, in a sense. They made a phone that was touchscreen for the first time.
The same thing?
But no, cars already existed since the 1900s.
Reliable. No, phones existed before.
I mean, not
Apple.
1900. Sorry, 19. It was created around 9. Ford created
But
the
same
first
with
Model
Apple.
T. But
Apple existed before. Tesla came up with
no,
completely
a
different
touch phone
designs of
screen that
electric
wasn't
car.
a touch phone. Phone was not exist before. Not everybody had a phone in their hand before. Everybody always had a car.
There was already touch phone. It was just it wasn't the full screen.
Well,
There wasn't
there was
buttons.
the connection between all the Apple products. Your phone, your computer, your AirPods, your watch, what else is out there? iPads. They kind of dominate a lot of different things that you buy. But in terms of when it comes to Tesla, I think all the other companies are missing is just the battery thing. And once they get that, I think they're gonna kill it. I don't think it's not different in 20
Do you
different
guys
ways.
agree that electric cars battery is more reliable than gas?
Yes, but you don't understand something. Now let's go back about dominate. What's dominate? What Apple did is dominated, made the best thing of that. But I don't think because it was a new product, there was nobody to compete. Tesla is coming in to compete with the big guys. You talk about Ford.
Exactly.
You talk about Ford. You talk about
And
Chevy. You talk about BMW. You talk about the like. No, let's get to
Even
Germany.
better,
You got the
even
top
better.
brands of the world, like in
Even
Germany.
better.
No, but I don't feel like they can dominate the
No,
market.
no, that's
no
that's
car
the thing.
has dominated the
That's
car.
the
Why?
thing. They have much more competitors, and Tesla, they were the most sold compared to Toyota Camrys and Toyota Civics.
Exactly.
The Model 3 was a top sold, it was a top sales. The Model 3 comparing to this average car, that Civic combined. There's a graph. More cars sold Tesla when they come up with the 3 than the Camry, and they have more competition.
And why?
Dominating.
Why?
Domination.
No. Why? Why did they do that? What was different about them?
The car, exactly. Tesla. Come on.
Yeah, but what was different? What was different between a Camry and a Tesla? What's the difference?
Everything.
Everything what?
Everything, like the specs, it's an electric car.
So if Camry, if
Talk
Toyota
about the
stepped up their
design.
game and made the same specs, do you
No,
feel like
exactly.
that's where I'm going?
No, okay,
because
with the
every
gas.
company,
If they changed.
everybody's gonna go. You talk about Porsche.
Oh, no,
Porsche
yes.
just released their all electric car. I've watched
Yeah,
it.
Ford came
No,
up
I
with theirs
agree. That's
5
what
or
I was
6
gonna
years
ask.
ago.
That's why I was gonna ask.
Because
on the point of between gas and electric. So we're close.
Yes, the
If we're-
technology is good, but I just say
Awesome.
like
But that's
Tesla.
the only thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only thing because Tesla can lose themselves in the
Oh,
market
got it.
because
Okay.
let's
So
talk
we're
about the beginning.
We're comparing electric with future electrics that are on
Yes,
to come. Okay.
exactly. All right,
Fair,
let's talk
fair,
about
fair.
Tesla as a whole right now. Okay, they are dominating the electric world. Why? Because nobody's doing it.
Fair.
Nobody's doing
Fair
it.
enough.
But
And Elon
when
Musk is crazy.
the big boys, and
No,
I'm talking
fair.
about big boys, when I mean big boys is people that's been doing it for 100 years,
Yeah.
they step into the same battlefield, they do not have a chance.
I
Why?
agree.
Because the designs. Because if everybody has the same type of technology, it's only going to get down to the looks. Because when you talk about all the brands, everybody has an engine car before Tesla. Everybody had an engine car before Tesla. And you know why Prius was the most top sold for 3 years in a row? Because they came in with half electric, half gas. Why? Because there was nobody to compete with them.
Yeah.
Why Tesla's doing well? Because there's nobody to compete
Part
with them
of
with
the
technology.
reason Tesla, I think it's part of the reason Tesla is doing well. A big reason is because Elon Musk. But part of the reason, yes, because they are innovative. Like they don't have a reliable. They had electric cars before, just like Apple. There was phones before, touchscreen phones. But Tesla was the first actual reliable car, fast, spacious, everything that people need in cars. It was there. Capacity to travel from one place to the other. They built that with the capacity of superchargers everywhere. Now, comparing if other manufacturers just start, 5 years from now, 10 years, it's just electric. It's getting on the electric. They're going with the driverless. Each one has the...
Yeah.
Tesla is still, I think, not because that they are ahead that they're going to succeed. Might be because I'm biased towards Elon Musk and the way he's running the company. Yeah, compared with Apple. But part of it, yes, is because they are ahead. They are ahead with superchargers, with the battery, the gigafactory they're doing. The biggest, better production, production. I think that's part of
I
it.
think if companies like Toyota, Mercedes, companies that are 10 times, 20 times the size of Tesla with 20 times more
By the way,
resources.
Arsalan's a finance major here.
No, Toyota is literally like about 30 times, 40 times the size of Tesla.
Probably.
In terms of the amount of money that they're sitting on, it's so much
Exactly.
more. If they wanted to go into that, I mean, they could with so much more capital
Are
behind
they
them.
crazy enough to build a Cybertruck.
So Toyota
that looks
actually
like a
owns like
three-year-old
$50
drawing.
million worth of shares of Tesla. Why is that? Because they want to see what Tesla's doing from a board perspective.
Yeah.
Like they want to be inside,
Yeah.
inside of Tesla.
Porsche,
So they're
Porsche
watching.
also. Porsche actually
They're-
rented. Did you hear the
Yeah,
story?
yeah. So, but what are they doing? They're actually watching Tesla from close up,
Which
and,
is smart,
and they're
yeah.
planning. They
They
know
might-
exactly
I
what
mean,
they're doing.
They might
that's-
They're gonna
surpass.
jump in as soon as they can, and
Yeah.
like I think they're gonna, because of the design, because of
Yeah.
their loyalty, and like for 100 years they've been producing cars versus Tesla 7 or 8 years.
Yes.
They're gonna dominate it once they decide to get into
Exactly,
that.
because
When it was Apple like sort of, it was new technology. They came out with so many
Same
different.
thing, yeah.
I mean, before that was there any electric? I mean, like touchscreen.
No.
No, that was touchscreen. It just wasn't.
No,
a full
touchscreen
phone.
watches, iPads,
Oh, okay, yeah.
AirPods.
They
that
started
connect.
building all that. Yeah.
It was so many different things.
there was nobody to compete.
Exactly,
Nobody to
exactly.
compete.
But
Yeah.
Tesla has so many. They have one difference, and that one difference is electric cars, batteries.
And I think that's just a matter of time
Battery
for that not to be the only thing.
Yeah, because
But all the electrics on, because Tesla is, as you said, it's more of like a tech thing.
Yeah.
So the driverless thing, their technology on the driverless
right.
is they have Google, but Google uses sonar, which is a different type of sensor.
Technology,
Tesla
yeah.
is the first one to do through camera. They're ahead on everything on that, on the battery, what the car needs, the engine. They are ahead now, but as you said, other companies can surpass them because they have the open patent. They can do the same thing. So what is it gonna matter at the end? So let's say other companies can produce cars, can produce mass cars with the engine, but Tesla's ahead because what an electric car needs, number one thing, the engine and battery pack. Tesla doesn't stop at the gigafactories they're building. They're gonna be dominating, maybe distributing, whatever.
But then now let's talk about a car. There's a multiple perspective on what we see in cars, and I bet you there's 1,000 people in the. I mean, not 1,000. I'm saying a big percentage of people that buy cars only for the look. I'm one of them. I'm really one of them. I don't give a crap what's under the hood.
Practicality, yeah.
If it looks good, I'm buying it. And like I said, I'm not gonna look what's under the hood.
That's a lot
we
of
know
people.
that market is gonna tell. Like that,
But,
I think
but
10 years
my
from
whole
now,
point is, I think Tesla's phenomenal, technology is phenomenal, but if they were to step up the design game, I think they could dominate now, and they have the time. Because if they were to step up the design game now, they could dominate and become an Apple. But because they're down, they left the design as a secondary.
Are you talking about the truck perspective?
No, I'm talking about everywhere.
cover.
Because
So-
I don't like the cars either. I don't
Yeah,
like the
but-
front of the
but
cars.
Let's
Yeah,
put it
but
this
that-
way: if I were to
that is
make a
more-
bet on which company is going to be bigger 20 years from now, Mercedes or Tesla, I would still say Mercedes. Ford or Tesla, I would say Ford, or just Toyota
Compared
or Tesla.
to Tesla. Okay.
I would still say Toyota
Yeah.
because of the amount of capital they have, because of how long they've been around, and I think they can jump on the Tesla technology pretty quickly.
Yes.
What's your bet?
My bet too is the same way. I'm saying until somebody of one of the big boys start making all their cars, that's it for Tesla. Because not everybody liked the design, and that's why my point is, if they were to design, be competitive with the design,
Such an
and then
important
fortunately, it's going to look like any other car. Well, they sell.
Yeah.
If it sells. Don't try to break in, because if they are, they could dominate the electric market before all the big companies get there. And that's my point. That's like my point, period. If they do a phenomenal change on the design, be appealing, they can dominate now and multiply the size of their company. And by the time the other guys catch up, they are dominating. But now, because...
I think that's the only future will tell. My bet towards Tesla is in the next 5 years, it's going to be a lot of still as it has ups and downs. You know, who knows if Elon Musk is still going to be CEO and then come back like the Tim, who was the Apple guy, did the same thing. He was a CEO.
Steve Jobs, yeah.
Steve Jobs was the owner of the company. He was thrown away because it's just that crazy mind. Elon Musk is not different. Elon Musk is that crazy mind. Doesn't have that management, stability thing. He's just crazy. I think Tesla is still in the next 5 years. We can't tell, but in the next 10, 15, I think that they are going to be way ahead of other cars with more top sales cars, and they're going to other companies, just like I feel like it has been right now, following the design of Tesla, like the Mustang. Interior's similar to Tesla for me. I that's my opinion.
I would buy Ford with my closed eyes. Ford stocks today because of the new Mustang.
That's why we could.
And I would not buy a
coming back to
Tesla
it.
because
For a long term.
for a long term because
10,
if they're
15
doing,
years from now.
I mean, they were phenomenal. Okay, talk about Lamborghini. Why the heck would they make an SUV? I mean, like, but dude, it exploded. I mean,
Mustang?
like, no, Lamborghini. Like,
okay.
Lamborghini is about sports car, but they made an SUV, and boom, like, that went insane.
It was sexy.
It was
the design.
sexy.
We keep coming back to design because design is so important.
That's
It
the
is
thing.
It's literally
important.
it's probably honestly
Yeah.
is the most important thing.
Yeah.
See,
when it
that's
comes
the
to
thing.
cars.
I think the design got thrown away from the Tesla Cybertruck completely. I think the market's gonna follow it, but with the other cars, I don't see much different. I don't see the Tesla S, Tesla X completely different.
I
than
know,
other
but
cars.
I'm like, my whole point is going back. I think Ford watched Lamborghini with the success of the SUV, and you grab a classic car that's the Mustang. You know,
Yeah, maybe they copied
into
the
it,
Mustang
yeah.
has a prime like branding already, and then they make it Mustang SUV.
Yeah.
What?
See, Ford looks at what has worked for them, and then they
Exactly.
create an SUV that
Yeah.
they know will appeal to the market.
Now, one
but
thing-
Tesla
one
doesn't
thing
do that. Why
What,
not?
what did they did? Ford was smart. What they did, the Mustang, they used the name, the name that is gonna sell.
similar
Two, the
design.
SUV crossover and SUV right now are the top cars. The numbers went up in crossovers, so that's why they're gonna hit it. And bam, with the technology, just like Tesla. So it's three things that they hit on right on the spot, and plus the design. I mean, the design looks awesome.
I think Tesla's risking it too much by trying to play with the design.
They're
so
definitely
much.
risking. I don't take that
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
They've
They're-
been risking since they were born.
Yeah, that's true. And I think sometimes it's good. Sometimes you, I mean, as a business owner, you
That-
risk it. You learn
exactly.
something
That's what
new.
I
You learn
say.
something
That's what
about the
happened
market.
to the Apple owner. You know, he
Yeah.
risked on the push a lot, which was.
But the
you know,
design
groundbreaking.
worked. Everyone stuck with it. And
Yeah.
everyone loves the Apple design, and it hasn't really changed. iPhone 12 is not going to be that much different than iPhone 1.
I guess we can come back 10 years, 15 years from now and redo a
See,
podcast. And y'all can be like,
See if
oh my
it's
god,
worked out."
Andre, you're right. Okay.
We'll see.
And one more thing with Tesla also is, I'm talking about Tesla and cars too much, but they're not really, Tesla itself is not just car. They're minimum cars. They're actually a battery producer, Tesla panels, Tesla battery for cars. So Tesla, they're changing, it's not just a car company.
Of course.
You know, they might be huge. Tesla might be a huge company with batteries distributing, but maybe not car producing.
But I think they're gonna
companies.
fall behind the
Yeah.
car, technology wise. I mean, well, you see what they did with those rockets. I mean,
Yeah.
I respect that, completely respect that. I think the technology
Yes.
is there. They're phenomenal. They're gonna be a big changer, but not in cars. I don't think
In
they can
cars, you
dominate.
don't believe that.
I don't
it's
think
gonna
they
take,
have
They might
this-
grow. The Tesla even might grow as a huge company, as better producing
Right.
But
stations.
they're not gonna dominate it
not
because
with
other
the
people are gonna
cars.
step in.
You
Other
do the
big
same
players
thing.
are gonna step
Same,
in.
yeah, no, like I said before, I think like in terms, I see them as a technology company, not as a
Yeah.
car manufacturer. Really, I mean,
Yeah.
they're doing a decent job as car manufacturers. Where I think the thing that's making them different than everyone else is their technology.
Yeah. Guess we'll see.
We'll see.
Oh yeah.
We see where Tesla Cybertruck orders coming. No, but that 10, 15 years from now, I think that's when we're gonna be able to tell them apart.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks so much for listening to the podcast. And if you guys want to check out every Wednesday, we're posting more business and automotive detailing podcast. We just did one, so we're posting one for. I'll post this one actually as soon as possible because Cybertruck is trending crazy.
I know. That's cool.
So any link on the description is down there if you guys have any questions about whatever. All right, we're good. Thank you, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you,
Thank you
bro.
guys.
Arsalan. And again, Thibecs with Thibecs Production. Is that it?
Thibecs Production and Best on Innovation.
Yes, the nicest video ever.